Welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast with your hosts Bill Algie, Dennis Talbot, and Alan Tate. We are three guys who have one thing in common, a love of rock and roll. Our goal is to talk about all things rock. We hope you find this show intriguing, funny, and occasionally highly opinionated. Enjoy!
Welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast. This is episode number 245, and we have a very special guest with us tonight. Mr. Jeff Pilson. How you doing, Jeff?
Yay! I'm doing great, guys. Good to be here.
Jeff looks a little bit longer haired than last time we've seen him. A little bit more.
I have my pandemic hair and my pandemic facial hair. Yeah.
Well, that's why I'm wearing a hat, because I have pandemic hair and I'm bald. So nobody wants to see a skull.
Cool. Whatever it takes.
Ain't that true? So it's kind of ironic. I was listening back. Jeff, this is your fourth time on the show, and we talked about at the last time that on the fifth time you get a gold jacket. So we've got to figure that out, because my goal is to try to figure out how to get you on your fifth
coming
time.
In April. So when that M Machine record comes out, I expect a fifth time, and I expect a jacket.
Damn,
would I be the first gold jacket, or has anybody else achieved the
gold?
Well,
I think our mutual buddy Mitch LaFawn, I think he would be a gold jacket recipient, but
we refuse.
My
to ship to
favorite
Canada.
First gold jacket recipient would be you.
Canadian.
So.
Yeah, because of Canadian customs, we can't do gold, so we can't.
You know what? I kind of understand. Oh, all right. Well, Mitch does.
We'll have to get sizes after the show.
Yeah, we'll get it. Cool.
We'll figure something out. So I listened back to the episode we did last year, which was actually at the end of February, right after the Black Swan record came out. Within a couple of days of that. And interestingly enough, we spent a lot of time talking about the summer tours that were all set up to go.
Yeah.
And that didn't work out for anybody. That just turned into just a shit show. So what have you been doing all this time?
A lot of recording. George Lynch and I have done 2 records together this year. Done a lot of private sessions, one song at a time, little video here or there, that kind of stuff for people. But George and I did this Heavy Hitters CD, which just came out a couple weeks ago.
December 20th.
Yes. And that was so much fun. We had, Brian Tichy on drums, Will Martin, who is a wonderful singer, just did these tremendous vocals. And then we had Mark Tureen guest on one song. Had Angela Moore come in and play theremin, which was really fun. Angela Moore sings with Fishbone. Really talented, out there dude. Love him to pieces. Anyway, so we did that. And then we also have now recorded, mixed, and mastered the second M Machine record, which is going to come out in April. That's all done. So that's in the can.
Great.
That sounds like Alan's birthday episode.
January, maybe in February. I'm sorry. What was that?
I said that sounds like Alan's birthday episode. My birthday's in April.
There you go. And a gold jacket.
And a gold jacket.
And the gold jacket. There you go. We'll get it all wrapped up.
Holding you guys to this.
Hey, we will stay to our word. Trust me.
We will do our very best.
Yeah. No, I tell you what, I've been listening to the album that you and George did. I'm telling you what, that album is just absolutely just fun to listen to. Absolutely fun to listen to.
That's the whole idea.
Heavy hitters. How did you come up with those songs? I mean, they're out. I mean, they're completely. A lot of them are left field.
Yeah. The way for one thing, what we wanted to do is we wanted to do songs that were hits. That's the hit of Heavy Hitters. Okay. So we wanted to take songs that were big and just do them in our way. We didn't want to do the usual thing of doing some AC/DC songs or, Zeppelin or any of that kind of stuff. Love that music, of course, but we just wanted to take a different approach. And we were in a place where we wanted to take existing songs and kind of craft them in a way that felt good to us. And the way it all started is George had a record, it was called Kill All Control, which I won't say how I pronounce it, but just think about Kill All Control. Is that anyways? But yeah, just think about it. Okay, I'm implying, I'm not saying. But anyway, and the label that he had that was re-releasing it asked George to remake a song. They had the song in mind. It was Someone to Love by Louis Capaldi, and it was a pop song, a current pop song. But they wanted us to cover it, so we did. And we had so much fun doing it, and the label loved it, and we loved it, and we got Will Martin to sing on it, and it just kind of provided a template. And so the label said, would you guys do a whole record of these? And we said, absolutely. So really the off-the-wall song choices started from them. And then we just consulted with them, and we made we had a list of 40 some songs at one time we were looking at, but we just kind of narrowed it down, and what can we do, and what can we really focus in on and make ours, and do them in varying degrees of difference from the original. And that's where we settled, and we just felt really good about it, and we had so much fun doing it.
Did you do that? Did you do this record with just shipping stuff across, the internet and that kind of stuff, or did you guys get together and do some of it?
It was done remotely, but not like you think. There's actually a program now that allowed me to control George has a studio at his home, very nice one, and I have one here, and usually we record here, but in this case, because of COVID and because we're old guys, so we have to be careful, so what we did is I would operate his machine remotely, and I could control his Pro Tools remotely and hear it in my studio. It's not perfect. There's a delay to it, so it kind of drives you a little bit crazy. But as far as being able to, listen to what's going on and determine the performance and everything else, I was able to do that. So we had tremendous success working remotely. Will did his vocals on his own. Mark Tureen actually came over here and did it. We put masks on. He was out in the studio singing, and we had a great time. So that's, yes, we did it remotely. Brian did the drums at his place. So it was done remotely, but with George's stuff, we would put, like, I would have my laptop set up just like this on Skype, and we'd be Skyping while with Audio Movers, that's the program that allows me to hear his program. I'd be running Audio Movers in Zoom on my main studio computer. Worked great.
Wow. That's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, and companies are being very creative. People are coming up with ways around this whole thing. They're actually working. There's a technology out there that is not quite ready to go, but almost ready to go, where you could actually, as long as you're under 500 miles away, you could actually play in real time with each other, and that would be miraculous. If that happens, that's amazing.
That would be crazy, actually.
Yeah, and if that can happen, wow, then you'll see some really cool stuff.
So what happens to recording studios? Will they still exist in 5 years?
They've been dying a slow death for 20 years anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, movie companies keep recording studios in business more than rock bands do. That's for sure. It's gonna be essentially the same thing. You'll have a couple of studios. A couple will go out of business in every town, and there'll be one or two that stay in business. So they'll exist, but they'll be more rare. And of course, because of that, they'll probably be more expensive. So it'll be an even further divide with everyone. But I think they will exist, but the technology is getting us. I mean, my studio here at home, it's not just a home studio. I mean, I have a full-on real studio. Why would I go into a studio now? It just doesn't make sense. I got a drum room out there. I got my amps in there. I mean, I've got, what I need. So, I think studios are, unfortunately, because I love recording studios, but unfortunately they're going to get more and more rare.
Well, it's come to the point too with, I did some recording back in the early 80s, at some, fairly decent studios down in Paducah. But the thing is now, back then, no, we just didn't have that technology to do stuff at home.
Oh God, no.
Now we can do stuff at home now. It's just
right.
is like everything was done in the 80s. You could do right now in your house.
That's right. That's exactly right.
I mean, and it's got to that point. And if you get the right situations, sounds, and with your mics the right way, and with soundproofing, and stuff, you can do that stuff at home.
You can.
You
It's
really
kind of. I mean, there's still, if you want to get a really great drum sound, as a rule, there's still a few studios where that's still going to be the gold standard. But like, I'm getting great drum sounds in here. Brian Tishy gets great drum sounds at his place. Because I have good microphones, good mic pre's. Right. My space isn't as big as I'd like for the drums, but I've got a tall enough ceiling that I can put my Bonzo mics up there, and I've got my levy break sound, and so can do what I need to do.
So let me ask you a real quick question though. A buddy of mine, we were listening. I went up to his house the other day on my golf cart, and I pulled this album out, was letting him listen to it, and he was just loving the shit out of it. The heavy hitters, like on One of Us, that George's sound. How does he get that? I mean, is he using like a Kemper, or is he actually? Are you?
Not a single one. No, he.
Okay.
Actually, he's got at that we use on the recording is he's got this.
That tone is amazing.
Yeah. Well, that's a 68 Marshall plexi on one side, and with he's got a Les Paul that just sounds wonderful to record. Les Paul through that Marshall sounds great, and then we generally double it with a single coil pickup sound, like he's got like a Lindhoff Telecaster that sounds really good. Sure. So we have those two, and then he generally on certain parts will triple with his Soldano head. It's the same Soldano head he recorded the Lynch Mob album with the first Lynch Mob record with. It's a great sounding head. So so between those things run run through a 412 cabinet that we put a couple mics on. Right. It's all natural sound. It's real.
That is, I mean, it's just one of those things where he just gets a tone. It's just unfucking believable. I mean, we were listening to it the other night, and Rod goes, "How do you get that?" I mean, it's just like
a lot of it's in his fingers.
Well,
a lot of it is the way he plays.
He
just when he grabs a chord, it's got authority like nobody else. And when he's playing that Les Paul through that Marshall and he grabs a chord, I know it's gonna sound great.
That answers my question. I appreciate that because, like I said, we were just loving that tone.
Yeah, well, wait to hear some of the stuff on the M Machine record. I mean, we kind of use the same setup for guitar, pretty much. Other little things for overdubs and stuff, but the man is playing so incredible these days. He really is. He's just. It's so inspiring to me listening to him play. It's just wonderful.
That dude he's just so freaking talented. It's every one of those songs on there is so unique, and especially with the guitar stuff, it's just so different and just cool. It's just cool as hell.
Well, thank you. Yeah, you know what? He's a soulful dude, man, and he plays with a lot of soul and intensity, and he's a genius. I mean, when he's on, there's nobody like him. So, all I have to do is sit back and say, "Yep."
Cool. Were there what kind of songs? So, what songs didn't make the cut? Can you share any of that?
I'm not thinking of any offhand, but I know that somewhere close by I have the list. Maybe I can find the list. You see? Oh, wait, hold on.
Play the Jeff Pilson "Looking for Music" song.
Yeah.
If you're gonna play Jeff Pilson "Looking for Music," at least play a Jeff Pilson song.
I know.
Yeah.
Right. I gotta get that George Lynch. I gotta get that George Lynch tone. I gotta think about that too.
All right. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, or we'll get sidetracked.
No. You're fine.
It might be in this one. So let me see if it's in this book.
So Jeff, did you play also producer on that album too, as far as just basically
heavy hitters? Actually, George and I both produce that one together.
Both of it. Okay, good.
Yeah. Okay, so hold on. Am I even close? Okay, hold on. Okay, I don't want to have too much dead time in here.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
Dead time with with you is like with Jeff is like it's like 18 minutes of dead time with us. It's like
I feel like we're close. Okay,
you're there.
I feel like we're close.
I see Rickenbacker. I see
Hold on.
Marshalls. I'm just looking around. I'm just checking out your John Lennon picture.
Okay. Now I'm feeling like we're losing it. So maybe crap.
He has a Marsha. He's a Marsha Ampecker.
I keep a book going when I'm in the middle of a project, but then once it's done, I just it becomes totally unorganized. So, all right. Well, I'm not going to bore us anymore. But why don't I'm really spacing on the songs that didn't make it. I'm sorry about that. But
the reason I ask is because
we're hoping we do another record. So that would be cool. We'll do more.
Yeah, that'd be cool. They were just no, I don't know. I was just shocked by the difference in the music on the record. I mean, Carole King to Prince to Madonna to, I mean, it was just like. But the cool part about when I saw the list at first, I was like, this is going to be very interesting, but it's just really cool. I mean, the arrangements are so freaking cool.
Well, thank you.
Do you have a favorite on the record? I mean, I know you asked that question, and artists go, yeah, they're all my favorite but is there one that really just?
Well, yeah, there is, and it's basically the second track on the record. You Got the Love by Rufus. It was a song that George and I have always loved. We've talked about it since we started writing together 38 years ago. It's just a song we've always loved. So the opportunity for it to come to be on this record was so cool. And then that Mark Tureen wanted to sing it and came in and just nailed it, just crazy nailed it. And I just love the version we did. I mean, George came up with a figure for the chorus that just really is cool. It's like, God, I wish we would have written that song. But anyway, so that's probably my favorite. But the only reason I hate to say that is because Will doesn't sing that one, and Will is like my favorite new singer. I mean, I love his voice, and so You Got the Love is number one. But then everything else Will did, I want to say, is great. So there you go.
I really dug the REM cover on there.
Oh, thank you.
What I really liked about it was the vocal phrasings were different, but they were the same. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I know. I had to work on it. That took some work actually to get exactly that. So I'm very happy that that's the effect it had on you.
That worked out really well.
Effect. Mission accomplished.
That song took a minute for me to like. It was like when it first throws it at you, there's just so much crap coming at you, and it's kind of mixed up and coopulated.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's until the first chorus. Then after that, you're into it. But it's just that first part. The first time you hear it, especially, it's like you're just like going, well, where are they going with this? It doesn't.
I can kind of see that.
And then as soon as you get to the first chorus, you're like, okay, now I know where I'm at. Well, now let's go. And it works.
There you go. I do. I get that.
No, it was really good. Like I said, I enjoy. This is one of those albums that I keep. Ordinary World, I like a lot, and One of Us, I like that a lot. Did you sing that one? Didn't you?
No, that's Will.
No, that's Will. Okay.
Oh, absolutely, and he's so brilliant on that record. I mean, the sound of his voice. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's really funny. Probably my favorite song on the record is Music.
Oh wow!
I've
heard that from a few people who say that they didn't even like the Madonna version, but they like that.
Yeah,
it kind of has a rock riff. It's a hypnotic rock riff. Well, cool. I'm actually quite taken with that too. I thought that came out quite well.
Yeah, I just think the bass lines and stuff like that. And I mean, obviously, think of it as a lot of great bass work in that. But it was just close enough to the original, but it was just different. But it was different enough to be definitely have more of a rock song. I could definitely see that. If there were clubs still out there right now, that could definitely get released. I would be in a club. That would be just cool. And I'm not that guy that listens to that stuff that much. But when I first heard it, I was like, that is cool as hell. Actually, that's the first song that I played for some folks to hear it. And I'm like, okay, listen to, and actually it was family. And I'm like, okay, listen to the Madonna version. I played as much of it I could stand.
Right.
And then I said, now listen to this version. And of course I cranked your version up a little bit more. And they were like, damn, that is cool. Not the same at all, but it's so close and it's so good. So it's just a good record.
Very cool.
I hope that sometime in my work, I can walk away and go, I made something that was really, really freaking cool. I don't, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen.
Well, the episode where you guys give me the gold jacket, that's going to be a banner episode. I guarantee you.
We got to we'll talk about sizes and everything before we get off with you tonight.
No problem.
One thing that I did, it was kind of funny about this album. And let's say Rod was up there, and we were listening to, like, say, One of Us, and started listening to it. And it almost has this kind of Dream Warriors kind of Dokken niche kind of sound to it.
Sure.
And then, like, Rod's like, well, they're going to just do Dokken all the songs. I'm like going, but then you start listening to as you're going through, then it's like it changes up. And then you got, it doesn't do that. I mean, it's actually, that's what I like about this. When you do like Kiss and all these other songs, they're just, you got a lot of bluesy type guitar going on.
Yeah.
It's on my list. So
we wanted to do it in a way that felt good to us, and then we thought, communicated the song well. I mean, and the challenge when you've got hit songs like that is, they like on Ordinary World, we didn't change it up that much from the original. We just,
right,
kind of did it a little bit heavier with some of the guitars and bass, and I played a 5-string on it and made it big and fat on the bottom. But it's you don't. Sometimes you can stray, and sometimes you can't. It's kind of it's a very fine line there, and so finding what gives you the same goosebumps that the original did, that's difficult, and that's the whole challenge of it. But that's what makes it so fun.
Right. Champagne Supernova was like that. I mean, it's close to what it was, but it's still it's rocked up a little bit. It sounds good. You didn't need to really change that.
Right.
It looked good, but no. Like I say, it's been on my.
And we even wanted kind of I'm sorry.
No. I said this one's been on my playlist for a while, so
cool.
I'm enjoying the hell of it. So.
Yeah, George came up with some nice little figures in there, and we wanted to do something with the acoustic guitar. We wanted to make it a little bit country acoustic, a little bit, So that was, just again wanted to throw some flavors in that we don't normally do, and that was really fun.
Right. Cool.
So, what do you have planned for the rest of this year? Is there anything in the works for if this whole thing gets lifted? Are you guys talking about any of that stuff yet, or is it still?
Well, sure.
We're still in.
Yeah, I mean, Foreigner has shows booked already. We're already booked starting at the end of March. And the first things we're doing are a couple of outdoor festivals in Florida that are actually set up for social distancing. So they're safe venues, and that will very likely happen. So the plan is to start touring at the end of March. Not sure. Maybe some shows will get canceled. Who knows? We just don't know. But then we go to Europe, I believe, at the end of May, and do a bunch of festivals over there. My feeling is, unless this new strain turns into a real nightmare, that'll probably happen. So hopefully we'll go to Europe. Then we come back here and play mostly casinos, state fairs, performing arts centers, that kind of thing, for a nice summer tour over here in the late summer and fall. And we'll be the plan is to tour until I think it's right around the end of November is the plan. And, and then, like I say, in the meantime, George and I are going to put out The End Machine with Robert and Stephen in April. Do some videos for that, probably the end of this month or early February. And the only other thing I'm planning on doing for sure this year is I've been recording a lot with Stephen Adler, who he's got a fabulous band, and so we're working on all sorts of songs for that. It's at a very early stage, so I'm not sure, and we're not in a hurry. And and his singer's in Argentina, and we don't want to do remote singing recording with him. So who knows how long it'll take. But we know that we've got started, and he's got some great songs, and he's got this wonderful band. So I can't wait for that record to get done too.
I love Steve Adler, and I like to hear that stuff. I think it's going to be really good. And like I said, yeah, the time lapse between you here in Argentina would be like a little bit too much.
Yeah. Although, he is able to record his voice down there, and that's how we've been writing and doing stuff like that. But it would be hard to get the record performance from that far away.
That'll be some good stuff, though. I'm looking forward to that too.
But we got some great songs. They got some great songs.
Adler's he's a monster. He is a monster, and I'm glad that he's still. And I'm still glad that he's still playing. You can always tell when he's behind a drum kit. He's smiling. He's happy. He loves to play drums, and that's great.
Mm-hmm.
I got to hang out with Steven.
When he's in the zone, it's just the best. It's absolutely the best. Yeah. And when he dials into a track and really understands it, he just adds this element to it that is so, it's such a mystery, but somehow he gives a track energy and it sounds different when he's not playing it. It's just amazing. It blows my mind how much. I've never heard any drummer cop his playing, especially on Guns N' Roses songs, where it sounds just like it. It's maybe they're playing the same parts or whatever, but it just doesn't sound like Steven when he's playing. There's a quality about his playing that is, it's X Factor. What can I say?
That's great. So you say In Machine is in the can then? It's ready to go.
Done, mastered, mixed.
Hell yeah.
Yep,
send that some bitch out.
On videos. And
gonna put it on vinyl? Vinyl too?
It will be on vinyl, yes.
Oh, I love vinyl.
Yeah.
Yeah, Heavy Hitters is on vinyl too. I've seen it.
It's available on vinyl too.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
I believe it is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
maybe not. Yeah, I just got asked the other day about what colors we wanted.
Be sitting in here at some point.
It's colored vinyl. So yeah, it should be out soon, if not now.
We'll be in with the cover. I would say orange and black, kind of do a. There you go.
Very good. I like that.
There you go.
Yeah, I did see it online. I was looking around for it. So either, I'm assuming that was, that's what it was. So
yeah.
We're definitely going to have to get those because I love vinyl. Yeah.
Yeah, I have my Black Swan that I got last year. That's a sweet looking record.
Thank you. Yeah, I am very happy with how the logo came out and everything. Very, very happy.
Yeah.
And at some point next year, that's the other thing. I'll also be writing another Black Swan record next year. It will 2022. But and in fact, Reb and I were talking about him coming out to write in a couple weeks. But right now, LA is like the worst part in the country or the world for that matter with the disease, with the virus right now. So we're going to be safe and not have him come out. But at some point, maybe March, something like that, he'll come out and we'll start writing another Black Swan record, which I'm really looking forward to.
I was just talking to some people the other night. We were talking about I got a vacation in April, and we're wanting to go out to Napa, go out to wine country, and we're hoping by then it'll be open. But we don't know.
We don't know.
I've been. Yeah, because we went out there actually in February of this last year, right before it closed down, and luckily, but like I said, we haven't been back. I'm like, oh damn, we need to go back out there. So anyway,
so do you? Go ahead,
Bill?
Go ahead, Alan.
Yeah. So getting back to the upcoming In Machine album, is there anything you can tell us about it?
Yes, I can actually. I would say. It's a little bit more Dokken sounding than the last record. We really wanted to concentrate on the songs, so we really spent time writing the songs before we got too far with stuff, and I think it really paid off. It's a very collaborative effort on the songwriting, and it just came out really well. I'm very, very happy with it. And I would say it's a little more Dokken sounding than the last record. It still has the chemistry that the three of us have, but we ended up Mick Brown is retired. So he's like really quitting. So we got his little brother Steve to play drums and background vocals on this record, and he did amazing. He feels exactly like Mick when he's playing. It's scary. It's because he's been studying him his whole life, I guess, but I mean, his playing just is so wonderful, and he was a joy to work with. And he got it right away what we were trying to do, and so I'm just really pleased. I know Frontiers is really pleased with the record. I think fans are going to really, really dig it. It is. It's just a little more Dokken-like in overall kind of sound and tone. And Robert sings the crap out of it, of course. And like I say, Steve plays great, and George is, some of his finest playing in who knows how long. He's just playing fabulous. And he was very inspired on this record, and we were really not afraid to, if it did sound Dokken-like, we weren't afraid to say, let's leave it. That's cool. That's who we are. Why not? And so there's more of that on this record than last record, but I think in a good way, and I'm really happy about it.
Good deal.
Cool. Oh, more good music. And when do you think that's going to get released?
April. I was told April.
All right.
Unless it changes April.
Bill's getting all excited. He's getting all tingly.
I am.
Well,
I am too. I need more vinyl. I don't have enough vinyl.
We just need more music in general. We do. Some new stuff, which is good. There's been some good stuff, but we just need more of it. That's for sure.
I agree.
So, is Foreigner? Are they interested in recording anything new at all, or is it just?
Yes.
Are they going to continue?
No, we actually are working on a couple of songs. It's never a hurry in Foreigner Land. It's always about getting it right. And so I could not begin to guess when it would come out. And we're probably not going to do like a whole new record. We're probably going to do some kind of another package kind of thing, but with some new material in it. Don't know when that would be, but we are working on songs and they're coming out great. The thing is, Mick Jones, he doesn't settle for anything. So this is going to be a very conscientious process, but yes, there is new material and it's going to be great.
Most excellent.
Cool. Hot dog. Man. Okay, so I was thinking about questions earlier today, so I have one for you. You have worked with everybody under the sun, it seems like. Is there somebody that you haven't worked with yet that you just want to get that person in a room and work with them?
Well, Paul McCartney would be great. Jimmy Page would be great. As far as recording, those are the names that come to mind. As far as people that would be more accessible to me, perhaps, I don't know.
Bill Algie.
What's that?
Yeah, no.
So to answer your question, I'd be shooting for people that are kind of out of my league, but the Jimmy Pages and Paul McCartneys, I'd love to work with them.
Cool.
Fair enough.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah. Right.
Awesome.
I have heard some of the new Paul McCartney record.
I haven't.
It's a little different. It's not like the last couple, that's for sure. And I think he's done everything on this record. I think he produced it in the whole bit.
He did it all himself at home. Yeah. I haven't heard. I don't think I've heard. No, I've heard one thing, and it was cool. But that's the thing is, what would I do with Paul McCartney? What does he need me for? So unless he's like, let's write a song together. Okay, that'd be great. But so that's why those kind of things don't make a lot of sense that I would ever work with them. But like, what if I could get Ringo to play on a track someday? How cool would that be?
Yeah,
I would be so excited by that. So,
well, I can tell you never know unless you don't ask. Yeah, you just got to ask.
Yeah,
right. That's how it all works. It's kind of funny, trying to get guests on the show and get art like you and get artists, and it's just you throw it out there and say, hey, does he have time? And when they respond, they go, yeah, you go, holy shit. At least on our side. So it's kind of the same thing, right? It's just like, yeah, they like want to sit down and have spend a few minutes with us, which is really cool. So, but the great part is everybody we've had on the show has been really cool and nice and easy to get along with. But I'm going to hold you to something though, because when you were on last year, we talked about that I think you and Alan met years ago. You never met Dennis, but we were all going to get together at a show this past summer. So if you get back on the road and we can all get there, then we're going to hold you to, we got to get you the jacket somehow.
Where are you guys again?
We're going to meet in Indianapolis because you guys were going to play up at Ruhoff. And that didn't happen, of course. Ruhoff has been basically in Indianapolis. And that one got canned. Actually, everything
all got canned.
Yeah, so
we all got canned.
Yeah, we all got canned. So they're in Indiana, and I'm just outside of Indianapolis.
We're all in Midwest Indiana, but we can actually hit Nashville, St. Louis, Indianapolis, Louisville. Any of those places we're within 2 hours.
I'm sure we'll be at one of those by the time the year is over.
Yeah.
I gotta get. I mean, I certainly hope.
I just want to say, hey, like I said, we've talked to you. I've talked to you here for almost 4 hours now total, and after fourth time, and then you're going to get a jacket. Maybe we can give you a jacket in person.
There you go. I like that. The presentation. We can film it.
There you go.
But anyway,
that's how you're going to go.
I tell you what, though, we all enjoy everything you're doing during this pandemic by putting out new music because that helps everybody. Well, we want new music. I mean, pandemic or not, we want new music. Period.
Well, appreciate it. I mean, take that for granted.
We love it.
We'll have to tell Uncle Gene that rock's not dead. You just got to go know where to go find it because it's out there, dude.
You know what? I paid Gene $39.95 last weekend for his concert. Rock's not dead. I'm still paying your ass. But you know what? I haven't heard a new song out of Gene in how many years?
Let's see.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, a good song out of Gene in how many years? And I love Gene. Don't get me wrong. But anyway, now Jeff, keep putting out great music. We want to hear.
Well, that's the goal. That's what we want
to hear.
That is my job, so I better.
We like that.
It's always good to do that. Always good to do that. Well, Jeff, we don't want to keep you too long tonight, man. Right. We know you got other stuff going on, and really appreciate you hanging out with us for a little while. And I know that two of us will be buying the vinyl for Heavy Hitters probably within the next 15 to 20 minutes.
Love that.
Actually, I should have been already.
Some of us only buy CDs.
Oh, okay. Well, that's okay too.
But that dude.
Yep.
That dude. All right.
But hey, it's new music and we're paying for it. That's a good part.
Well, that is great. And listen, I appreciate that, guys. Seriously. And I appreciate what you're doing with this podcast. It's wonderful. And I love being on, and you guys are great and a lot of fun.
Well, before
glad you enjoy it.
Before we roll out of here, tell people where they can find Heavy Hitters and In Machine and Jeff Pilson and all of that stuff.
Okay. Oh boy, all that. All right. Well, so on Instagram, I'm the real Jeff Pilson. On Facebook, I think I'm just Jeff Pilson. Pretty sure. And I get the correspondence if you send me stuff there. There's also there is Cleopatra Records is the record company that has the Heavy Hitters CD. So I believe there's some way of going to the Cleopatra website and hearing music, but I know you can certainly find the album to buy on the Cleopatra site somewhere. I think it might be available on Amazon and some other places too.
It is. I've seen it on there.
Yeah. And of course, Frontiers Records will be putting out the M Machine, and that should be in all the usual outlets. And I believe that there's a Facebook M Machine page that's going to be ramped back up pretty soon. So all the usual stuff. Like I say, the real Jeff Pilson on Instagram and Jeff Pilson at Facebook. There's a Jeff Pilson fan page, and that one I deal with personally. So that's a good place to go.
Sweet.
Cool.
All right. Well, hang tight.
Cool.
Hang tight for a minute, Jeff.
Yeah, don't drop Jeff.
Yeah. No, I won't. Guys, thank you so much. We'll talk to you again very soon.
All right. Hang on for a minute.
Sure.
People, visit us on agesofrock.com. Check out our social media and past episodes. And until next time, peace out. Thanks for listening to the Ages of Rock podcast. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and most importantly, tell all your friends. Remember, you're never too old to rock. Until the next episode, peace out, folks.